Have you ever asked yourself this question? What would my life look like if I dared to think bigger? Most of the time, we limit ourselves not because of what we cannot do, but because of the size of our thoughts. If we think small, we achieve small results. But if we think big, we open the door to possibilities we never imagined before. Thinking big is not only about dreaming, it is about expanding your vision, believing in yourself, and giving yourself permission to aim higher in life. Today's theme is very important: the power of thinking big. This idea has changed the lives of many successful people around the world. They were not always the smartest, the richest, or the most talented, but they dared to think bigger than their situation, bigger than their fears, and bigger than their limits. And this is what we will explore together in today's story. Welcome to Shadowing Podcast TV, the channel where every day we share inspiring stories that help you learn English while also learning life lessons for success. Here, you don't only practice English listening, you also train your mind to grow, to dream, and to believe in yourself. In this episode, I, Johnson, will speak slowly and clearly so you can shadow my words. And that means you can repeat after me, practice pronunciation, and make English part of your daily life. Before we begin, make sure you subscribe and click the notification bell so you never miss a new episode. Remember, one episode a day can change your English, and one big idea can change your life. Now let us begin with today's inspiring story. Part 1. The Story of a Young Dreamer. Once upon a time, there was a young man named Daniel. He grew up in a small town where everyone knew each other. Life in that town was simple, but it was also limited. People worked in the same jobs for years. Most of them never traveled far. They accepted life as it was and believed that nothing extraordinary could happen there. Daniel was different. From a very young age, he had a curious mind. He liked to look at the sky at night, full of stars, and ask himself, why not me? Why can't I do something great with my life? While his friends were happy playing games and talking about small things, Daniel often imagined big projects. He dreamed of starting a company, helping people, and traveling around the world. But dreaming big was not easy for him. Many times people laughed at him. They said, "Daniel, stop dreaming. You should be realistic. Get a normal job, stay here, and live like everyone else." These words made him doubt himself. For a while, he almost believed them. One day, Daniel's teacher gave him a book called The Magic of Thinking Big. The book was simple but powerful. It explained that the size of your success depends on the size of your thinking. If you think small, you will stay small. But if you think big, you create new opportunities. This book was a turning point in Daniel's life. He began to understand that his thoughts were the foundation of his future. He realized that if he wanted to build something extraordinary, he first had to change the way he thought. So, Daniel made a decision. He would no longer limit himself by the small thinking of his environment. He decided to believe in his dreams, even if people did not believe in him. The first step was education. He studied hard, even when he was tired. He listened to podcasts, read motivational books, and practiced English every day because he knew the world was bigger than his little town. His friends sometimes laughed, but Daniel stayed focused. Slowly, small opportunities started to appear. He got a chance to attend a conference in the city. There, he met successful people who had also started from nothing but dared to think big. Their stories inspired him even more. He began to see that his dreams were possible. Thinking big changed the way he saw challenges. Instead of saying, "This is impossible," he started asking, "How can I make this possible?" Instead of complaining about problems, he looked for solutions. Part 2. Turning big dreams into big actions. Daniel knew that dreaming big was only the beginning. A dream without action is just imagination. So, he decided to turn his thoughts into steps. The first thing he did was set clear goals. He wrote them down in a notebook. I want to build something that helps people. I want to learn skills that can change my future. I want to see the world. Every morning, Daniel read his goals out loud. This simple habit reminded him of his vision. But it was not easy. He faced many obstacles. Sometimes, he did not have enough money to buy the books he needed. Sometimes he felt tired after long days. Sometimes he heard voices telling him he was wasting his time. But Daniel had learned something powerful. Small thinking creates excuses, while big thinking creates solutions. Instead of saying, "I can't buy this book," he said, "How can I find a way to read it?" He started going to the library, borrowing books, and even asking mentors for help. His next challenge was confidence. At first, when he spoke English, people laughed at his mistakes. But Daniel remembered the lesson of thinking big. He told himself, "Every mistake is a step forward. If I think small, I will stop. If I think big, I will continue until I improve." Slowly, his English became better. One day, he had the chance to present an idea at a small community event. He was nervous, but he spoke with passion. His idea was about creating a small online platform to connect local farmers with buyers in the city. At first, the audience was quiet. Then, one man stood up and said, "This is brilliant. I want to support you." That moment changed everything. For the first time, Daniel realized that his big ideas could create real impact. Soon after, he began working on his project with the little resources he had. He used free online tools, worked late at night, and asked for advice from successful people he met. Over time, his platform started to grow. Farmers who once struggled to sell their products now had access to more buyers. Families in the city had fresh food delivered easily. Daniel's big idea was becoming a reality. But the story does not end there. As his project grew, Daniel was invited to speak at conferences. He shared his story of thinking big, and people were inspired. Many young men and women came to him and said, "Because of you, I believe I can dream bigger too." Daniel realized that thinking big was not only about personal success, it was about inspiring others to see new possibilities. His life became a living example of how one person's decision to think big could create a ripple effect of change. Today, Daniel continues to dream bigger. He knows challenges will come, but he also knows that his thoughts shape his future. Part 3. The Lesson and Comprehension Questions. So, what can we learn from Daniel's story? The lesson is simple but powerful. Your thoughts shape your future. If you think small, you close the doors of opportunity. If you think big, you begin to see possibilities, solutions, and new paths that others cannot see. Daniel was not born rich, talented, or powerful. But he made a choice to think bigger than his environment, bigger than his fears, and bigger than his doubts. And that choice changed his life forever. Thinking big does not mean ignoring reality. It means believing that you can grow, improve, and create a better future. It means asking yourself, what if I tried harder? What if I aimed higher? What if I refused to limit myself? Now, let's test your listening and shadowing skills with a few simple questions. You can answer them in the comments. Where did Daniel grow up? What book inspired him to think bigger? What project did Daniel start to help farmers? What was the reaction of the man at Daniel's first presentation? What is the main lesson of Daniel's story? Repeat these questions out loud with me. This shadowing practice will not only help you understand, but also improve your speaking fluency. Remember, your future is as big as your thoughts, so choose to think big today. As we reach the end of today's lesson, remember this important truth. Thinking big can change your life. Your thoughts are not just ideas in your mind. They are the foundation of your actions, decisions, and ultimately your success. Daniel's story shows us that no matter where you start, you can achieve great things if you dare to think bigger than your fears, doubts, or circumstances. Here at Shadowing Podcast TV, we are committed to helping you learn English while learning life lessons. By shadowing my voice, repeating the words slowly, and reflecting on today's story, you are not only improving your English skills, you are training your mind to dream bigger and act boldly. If this story inspired you, subscribe now to Shadowing Podcast TV and click the bell. Join our daily journey of English practice and personal growth. Every day, we bring new stories and lessons that help you speak better English and live a more empowered life. Now, I want to hear from you. What big idea will you pursue today? How will you think bigger starting now? Write your answer in the comments. Shadow the words and inspire others to do the same. Remember, your life is shaped by the size of your thoughts. Don't settle for small dreams. Think big, take action, and step into your future today. Every moment you spend imagining greatness is a step toward achieving it.